What's up, guys? I'm Octavian, and many people have been asking me, will I be playing Classic Era, and will Era be destroying Season of Discovery? Long story short, no, I will not be playing Classic Fresh again. And no, Era will not destroy Season of Discovery. Now let's talk about why. Well, let's start from the beginning. 20 years ago, players would begin their journey in World of Warcraft, meeting new friends, joining fresh guilds, building a reputation, getting to 60. There was so much to explore, so much new content that people felt immersed and played for hours every day. At the time, we the players did not know what would be lying before us. The players had immense fun taking down all these new raid bosses from MC, BWL, ZG, AQ, Next, and then going into PvP and dominating people with their newfound gear. People understood there was class imbalance, so the players wanted new spells, new gear, with new raids, but they didn't know what to expect. With the launch of TBC, many players were excited. There was so much new content that they were not prepared for. We all looked forward to what the future had to bring. But once you got to 70, you no longer did the raids from original WoW, as the gear became completely irrelevant. At the time, players didn't mind this as the new raids were fresh and exciting. I mean, Blizzard would just continue making a great game, right? Next, Wrath of the Lich King. Another great expansion. But the same thing happened. People were excited, happy with new content. But now no one did raids from TBC, and the players didn't mind because they thought, hey, it's Blizzard. The game is great, and it just continued going to be great, right? In comes Cataclysm. It was at this point players would begin reminiscing of the good old days. They changed Azeroth, destroyed some but added new zones. The players were excited to try this new experience. New zones, new class playstyles, completely new experiences. But from the beginning, we already started to feel the downsides. This was only the first bumpy expansion, so players thought, it's fine. The next expansion will be better, right? Then Mr. Pandaria comes out, introducing pandas and reforging. I'm not against pandas, but I felt at this time that the direction of where World of Warcraft was heading has been changed. But the players continued to think, it's fun. The next expansion will be better, right? Following Mr. Pandaria, Warlords of Draenor came out and removed old mechanics introduced in the previous expansion. Many players were disappointed with Warlords of Draenor, but even so, the players continued to say, it's fine. The next expansion would be better, right? And finally, the player was right. Legion was a great expansion and brought back many players. But they again removed older mechanics and replaced them with new. And classes would again change significantly. But the excitement didn't last for long as the game began to deteriorate again with the launch of Battle for Azeroth. And again, players would begin to crave vanilla. They needed to go back to where it all began. They needed to remember why they loved this game, to feel it all over again. Then finally, Blizzard gives in and gives us Classic Fresh. So many people came to play Classic Fresh. It was a huge success. Players were able to have that experience that so many have been looking for. The immersion. We enjoyed our time. We leveled to 60, made new friends, joined new guilds, had new drama. But towards the end, Era would feel dead as players began to only raid log. Many players would quit from the grind to 60. Many more would quit throughout the weeks of raiding, leaving the world to feel empty only a few months in. So players who play Era now want Era Fresh to breathe life back into our world. Which brings us to today. We are now about to have our third Classic Fresh, our fourth Classic WoW experience this summer. At some point, players begin getting tired of running the same content. Many of us have already done MC, BWL, ZG, AQ next. There would be nothing to gain for the average player. New friends, sure. New guilds, sure. But they will not benefit as much as a content creator. These individuals will be able to play Classic WoW over and over again with the support of their communities. So they will not feel as if their time is being wasted. But for the average player, what is there to gain playing Era fresh again and again? No new experiences or content, with another Classic Fresh coming out 6 months down the road. Classes feeling weak or clunky. So when people ask me, is Season Discovery gonna die because of Classic Fresh? I'd say of course not. In Era, Rets are a meme and expected to wear a dress and heal. Arcane Mage isn't a thing, and Boomy is laughed at, among others. But in Season Discovery, many specs are viable. Many classes feel rounded out. Personally, playing Season Discovery from the beginning, I can't bring myself to go back to Classic, at least for a little while longer. Sure, the game has its negatives. Every game does. Season Discovery versus Era, they both share the same universe. But we have new content coming to Season Discovery. We've already had new content with runes, gear changes, new instances, with more on the way. And we don't yet know what is in store for Season Discovery. But players are excited to see what's to come. But this is where things get spicy. Blizzard gave the players what they wanted and made Classic Era. They then turned it into TBC, then Wrath, into Cataclysm, now Mr. Pandaria. Remember when Blizzard said, "You think you do, but you don't"? Well, now I understand what they meant. They are now force-feeding us Classic WoW content. We are getting another Classic Fresh now. And there are talks of another Classic Era going into TBC, then Wrath. Blizzard states they don't have enough resources, so they add in-game tokens and mounts on the store. But every year, their bonuses get bigger and bigger. Blizzard has a smaller group of devs working on World of Warcraft as a whole than they did previous years. They want to make as much profit as possible with as little amount of work. They are literally milking the player base. Every expansion feels like a brand new game, with them introducing content that they will then again remove later, making older content irrelevant by consistently increasing the level cap. And they are now releasing the same content over and over again, stealing your time, trying to convince you it'll all be fine. But don't fall into another trap, brothers. Don't give them your time until they start showing they were respected. But just remember, time is the most valuable currency. You cannot get your time back. Spend it well.